Hey guys, I'm Phil in the Blanks, and welcome to Let's Play Donkey Kong. And not just any Donkey Kong, this is Donkey Kong 94. Its official name is just Donkey Kong, but most people call it Donkey Kong 94 to kind of differentiate it from, original Donkey Kong, because this is a very similar game to Donkey Kong, the original one. Back in 1994, right before Donkey Kong Country came out, Miyamoto and all of them, I guess, wanted to bring Donkey Kong back a little bit. So they're like, what better way to do it while Rare's working on Donkey Kong Country to work on a full, actual sequel to the original Donkey Kong. And that's what this game is. And you can see Mario here is, for some reason, a gymnast or something, an acrobat, and he, I don't know, does things in front of people. I know this is actually like a basic tutorial about what Mario can and can't do. I like how the audience is just all regular people, except for that one guy who's bald. I guess that's me, the balding guy who's watching Mario perform. So yeah, this functions very similar to the original Donkey Kong from 1981, I believe. It's Donkey Kong, he steals Pauline, and you as Mario have to get her back. And that's it, except you can tell that just from this picture that this is a lot different than the regular Donkey Kong game, because Mario's doing flips, he's doing double jumps. Now he's friggin' whoop-de-whooping on a friggin' clothesline. Look at him go. Schmack. He can fall more than 2 feet without dying. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'm playing this on my Retron. I'm actually very, very happy to see that it maintains the Super Game Boy border, because this is also the very first Super Game Boy game. This is also the very first Game Boy game I've ever owned. My parents bought me a Super Game Boy instead of a regular Game Boy, and this is the game that they bought with it. And it is my favorite Game Boy game. I absolutely adore this game. It's wonderful. Just great. So here we are as the first, kind of a fun recreation of the first first Donkey Kong level. Very, very cool. You can just kind of, go up the ladders and whatnot, or you can just be really cool and do backflips. I like how it makes the original Donkey Kong levels really easy to do. Weirdly enough, I believe anyways, correct me if I'm wrong, this might be the first at-home version, I guess it's portable, but still, at-home version that has the Pie Factory. Because the original Nintendo NES version of Donkey Kong does not have the Pie Factory. The arcade... I died. The arcade version does have this level, but the NES version of Donkey Kong only has the beginning level, the weird girders area, or the kind of the weird conveyor, not conveyor belt, but the lifts, I guess, and then the last one, the construction site. But I believe this is the first version of the Pie Factory being available in a home console. I know it's a Game Boy, but you know what I mean. You can also throw the friggin' hammer around. Mario's so versatile in this. He's not like crazy like he would be like in actual platformer Mario games. Oh, that was close. But considering this is like, very small levels and stuff, Mario moves around a lot in this game. So yeah, you're probably thinking like, Phil, why? Why is Mario able to do all this stuff? And that's because there's more to this game than it looks. You can tell this is not a quickie episode, so I'm definitely not going to be able to beat this game in a single hour. This game is a lot longer than the original Donkey Kong game. So while it starts off like it does here, and plays like the original Donkey Kong, and I mean, the rest of the game plays like this too. The way you control Mario in these levels is exactly how you actually play him. Go down, Fireball. I want that one up. Fireball. Fireball. Alright, I'm just gonna go. Oh, okay, there it goes. Ah! Oh, that was close. I don't want my first death on friggin' arcade levels. There we go. I like how even the classic, like, doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. Actually, it's funny, I could already died. I'm like, I don't want to die here, but I've already been burst into flames. I've noticed that this version doesn't have Pauline yelling help. Like I said, this is how easy this is with backflips and stuff. This is the first Super Game Boy game, and it has increased color palettes made specifically for this game. It also has new sound effects, at least it's supposed to. On an actual Super Game Boy, Pauline actually yells out help. There's a little digitized voice, but it doesn't seem like it's actually happening on this, probably because it's on the Retron, and whatever. So, we've beaten it! I'm Phil the Blanks, guys, take care. Oh, obviously, this is not the end. Donkey Kong gets all angry, because that's how the original Donkey Kong ends. This is all brand new now. So, now finally free from his constraints of an arcade, Donkey Kong runs into this walled city, which is very odd looking. Big butt poking out there. Bump. And so instead of it being about reaching Donkey Kong every level, the game is a little bit different, and this actually shows you now it's about grabbing a key and finding the door. And if you thought, like, well, how many levels can they really make for the original Donkey Kong? Try 101. This game has 101 levels. It's awesome. This is the first world, big city. Oh, look at the map graphics. I love I was gonna say music, but the colors they can put in there. For a Game Boy game, I was very impressed with this because, I mean, I'm so used to just 4 shades of gray. Then the Game Boy Color comes out, and I mean, most Game Boy games are just like, still just 4 colors. But this is able to do a little bit more. That's what the Super Game Boy was so cool. Why the Super Game Boy was so cool. So yeah, every level is now grab the key, get to the keyhole. You can also find all 3 of Pauline's items, her umbrella, her parasol, or sorry, her umbrella and her parasol. Her umbrella, her hat, and her purse, and you'll get like some bonus levels. You can get a lot of lives that way. The game's not particularly difficult, but it's nice to have lives. I've beaten this game a million times. I actually did a speedrun on it, and I debated putting up my speedrun on the channel, but I was like, no, this is a game I want to play again. And I mean, I'm not saying I'll never put up the speedrun, but it's a good hour. So if you're gonna watch me play the game, you might as well watch it, you know, for real, I guess, and doing all the extra things. You can climb up here and go on the telephone wire or whatever and just kind of flip yourself around. It's so cool. This type of game, I don't even know what you classify this game, but like, I don't know. Those types of games where you have 100 levels and it's a very, oh yeah, while you have the key in your hand, you can't die. That's pretty cool. But there's 100 levels and there's a very clear, it's just like get to point A, or get from point A to point B. And it's like, you know, it could be like defeat all the enemies before you can move on or whatever. But they're among like my favorite genres. Other games like Bubble Bobble, Snow Brothers, those types of games, I really just like them a lot. They're very, very cool. And Donkey Kong is among one of my favorites. It's, again, like I said, it's my favorite Game Boy game. And it might be because I played it so much. I mean, again, this is my first Game Boy game. My parents got this for me. And I ate it up. I played this constantly. I played this one a lot. I was 9 when it came out, and I think I was 9 or 10 when they got it for me, because the Super Game Boy was fairly new. And I remember seeing it in Nintendo Power being like, not this game, the Super Game Boy. I love the Super Game Boy. It's one of my favorite, like, Nintendo accessories. The Game Boy Player is very cool, but there's something about the Game Boy Player Super Game Boy that I really like. But I loved seeing all these Game Boy games that could have like a renewed life with a little bit of color, and then there were new Game Boy games being made with like a little bit of extra color. That's just awesome. A couple of games were actually re-released. Link's Awakening was re-released, so it was Link's Awakening DX, fully colored. Wario Land 2 was released as... Oh wait, no, those are Game Boy Color games, not Super Game Boy games. I'm an idiot. Sorry, that was really stupid of me. But, there were a lot of games with the Super Game Boy. Oh, so every 4th level, instead of getting to the keyhole or whatever, the point of the game, the point of the level is to reach Donkey Kong, like a traditional Donkey Kong level. And then the last level of the full world, that sucked. So when I get to the last level of Big City, you're actually going to fight Donkey Kong, which is super, super cool. Man, I love this game so much. I like the backgrounds. I like how they're always very like lighter colors. We're going to watch out for whatever these things are. But I like the lighter colors in the background. So on an actual Game Boy, you don't really see them very well, which is good because you want to see Mario in the action and the platforms. But on the Super Game Boy, you can delight in like the backgrounds and the building there. And man, I could gush about this game for so long. And I like it because they use a lot of different worlds. Like the first level of this is the big city. There's more worlds than that, and it's not just like grass world, desert world, ice world. And there are ice worlds and desert worlds in this, but they're done so much better, I find, than in a lot of other Mario games. This I also like too. After every 4th level, you get a little cutscene, and the cutscenes are not just like really entertaining, because you know I'm a very easily entertained person, but they're also tutorials for like the next 4 levels and what kind of thing you're gonna see in them. So grabbing these little tiles with the arrows, you're gonna be able to set platforms or set ladders, and God, I love these types of puzzle games. I find them so imaginative, and there's so much to them, and I find this one adds so much. Every time they have new things, I love it so much. So good. Like here, now that we've learned about those tiles, now we have to do them here, and it's just super, super interesting, guys. I adore this one so much. Going back to the Super Game Boy, actually going back to the Game Boy Player, I don't know if... Okay, so Canadian here. This is, I believe, a Canadian show. I think it was called Street Sense. And it was a show for, like, teenagers, early to mid-teens, I guess. And it was stuff like, I don't remember a lot of the show. I never really watched a lot of it. But it was stuff like, you know, these are the new cool things for teens. And, like, it was, like, promoting safe fun for teens and kids and that kind of thing. And, like, they were kids hosting the show. So it'd be stuff like, hey, there's a new... I was going to say DVD, but DVDs didn't really exist back then. Like, there's a new movie out, and how is it? And kids would review it. And, like, is this a good thing for kids or teens? It sure is. Have fun. And they do product reviews, too. And it was a good show. I'm going to throw some shade at it right now, but it was a good show. I remember one episode it had, and they were doing the Game Boy Player. And it was very clear that no one understood what the Game Boy Player was meant to do. The Game Boy Player, in case you do not know, is a thing you can attach to your GameCube. So I guess DVDs were out by that point. And it would be on the base of your GameCube, and it would allow your GameCube to play Game Boy Advance games on your TV screen. It wouldn't, you know, make them better like the Super Game Boy was. Kind of a shame, but I mean, whatever. But that way you could play Game Boy Advance games and Game Boy games and Game Boy Color games and Super Game Boy games on your GameCube. And they were like playing like F1 Race and Mario Land 1, you know, games that came out in 1989 on a product that came out in 2003, 2003. And they were like, yep, the graphics look bad. They're terrible. 1 out of 5 star, don't buy it. And I'm like, wow, did you guys really do a review on a product you literally knew nothing? That's like buying, I don't know, a cup, like a cup. Imagine buying a really good mug. I filled it with piss. And then I drank it, and it didn't taste good. This mug sucks. Or, I bought a new TV. Look at this TV. But I watched friggin' Suicide Squad. That movie was terrible. Bad TV. Sorry, I didn't mean to specifically choose Suicide Squad for that example. That just feels like I need a bad movie right now, and Suicide Squad was kind of just popped in my head. Sorry, I don't like Suicide Squad. I didn't think it was a very good movie. That being said, I think Margot Robbie was phenomenal in it, despite the fact that I'm not a huge Harley Quinn fan. And I found Will Smith great, because Will Smith is awesome. So, deal with it. I actually didn't even mind Jared Leto that much. I'm also not a big DC guy, so you can't disappoint me that much on a DC movie. I'm not a giant fan of the Joker, so when Jared did the Joker, I was like, yeah, that was okay. I don't know. Overall, the movie wasn't super great. I thought the villain was weak. I thought the whole premise was dumb. But whatever. If you liked it, you liked it. Back on topic, which was still off topic. I don't know what to talk about anymore. We're talking about so many things. So, yeah, we were actually fighting Donkey Kong there. He throws down barrels. As time goes on, those barrels get harder to get. You have to do handstands and stop them from falling because they'll just crash. They won't actually land. Here we got switches. Mario's like, I can do a switch. Take that, bitches. Or just bitch, I guess, because he's just talking to Donkey Kong, not Pauline. I don't like how Pauline does nothing when she's like, oh, help me! And she gets put down, and she's just like, do something, man. That being said, I love how they brought Pauline back in Mario Odyssey. And yes, that is the end of the first world already. We're still in the first episode. And we're in the second world now, and it is the forest. I love it. And there's a lot more levels, as you can see. 4 more levels. So we won't finish this episode. I'm just going to keep going, and, you know, every time 20 minutes hits, I guess, I'll just be like, all right, if I die or if I beat this level, we'll call it an episode. I like how this level specifically starts you on a ladybug. It's to show you that the ladybug can be totally walked on. It's not spiky. It's totally safe. It can't hurt you. So starting Mario on the... Frig, I missed that. On the ladybug tells the player that it's totally safe. That was game design with Phil. Tune in next time for other things like jumping is cool, and the designers did a good job of jumping. Except I fell there, so bad job. Oh shit, that was close. Mario has 3 fall states. 4, I guess. He has that normal fall state or landing state, I guess, where he lands perfectly normal, nothing happens. He has one where he kind of starts to dive a little bit and he rolls. You are not able to control Mario in the roll. But it means you won't die. It means you just gotta look through that roll animation, or go through that roll animation. Sometimes the roll will... I'm dead. I was gonna die anyways. The third is he face plants. He's not dead, but he will be stunned for about 3 seconds, and enemies can't kill him in that time. Sometimes also the key, if you don't touch the key or grab the key fast enough, it'll disappear and go back to its regular spot. So if you land like that, sometimes means you might lose the key. The last is the one I would have gotten if I had landed there, and that is death. You land straight up on the top of your head, and it's just straight up death for Mario. You're probably going to see a lot of all of those landing states in this playthrough, because as fun as it is, and as decent as I am with the game, man, this game screws up a lot. I'm still, you know, it's still kind of difficult sometimes. You'll notice there's a lot of weird, like, hiccups in the thing. Believe it or not, that's not all my capture card. Some of that is just the game. I honestly do not know if that's just my cartridge or that's the way the game is. But I mean, the way the Retron works, it once it reads the original, once it reads the original cartridge, it basically like dumps the ROM onto, yeah, I saw that. Sorry, I was looking at my my capture, and that was a capture problem. That wasn't the game. Yeah, the Retron reads it and then dumps the ROM onto the hard drive. It's not. It doesn't keep it, so like it doesn't. It's not like it's technically emulating it, but once you take the cartridge out, it deletes the ROM. It's like you have to put the cartridge back in to keep playing, because that way it's not trying to promote, you know, actual illegal emulation. You do need the original cartridges in order to play these, just like you would on an actual Super Nintendo or Game Boy or whatever. Anyways, yeah, I find this game glitches out a lot in terms of just weird, like, stutters and stuff. And again, I don't know if it's my cartridge or just the way the game is programmed. Maybe because it's the very first Super Game Boy game, maybe they had a little bit of problems, so it's not able to do that. Because I don't think I've ever played this on a regular Game Boy. I've either played it on a Super Game Boy or a Game Boy Color, because the Game Boy Color was the very first actual Game Boy I ever got. It was one of the purple ones, not the see-through one, just the purple ones. Oh, this is fun. Okay, so watch this. No, I want to put it over here. So we're gonna beat this level legitimately. Like I told you guys, I speedran. I ran this game before. I had the record for a little while because back when speedrunning wasn't that competitive, it was fairly easy to get a record. This is the regular way to do this: is you go over here, get the switch, you open up that door that stops you from getting the keyhole. But I'm gonna die on purpose right now. So you just go here and then you just do it. I'm not gonna do that. This is how I beat the level for speedruns. And I remember doing this, and I remember getting a comment being like, "That is the smartest thing in the world." I'm like, I know. If you grab the ladder creating block over here, before the lock actually closes, you can place a ladder right there, which stops the door from closing, and you've beaten the level. There's quite a few really cool strats for this game that I wish I could do a little bit more, like faster and more reliably. Is this? No, okay. There's one of the Donkey Kong fights in this this level where you can do super fast. I'm probably going to try to do that at least once. I won't do this episode because we're going to just finish that. Ah, damn it. We're going to finish this level off and we're going to call it a day. But there's some really cool strats. And I remember there was a speedrunner named Arrow who was also going to speedrun this. But then when like I was like doing it, he kind of bowed out. Because that was a thing back then. People would like stop and they'd like kind of help you find new strategies, but they'd stop and they'd allow you to like, well, if you want to run this game, I'll allow you to, like, you go ahead. I mean, they definitely try to compete later on, but it's like a one at a time thing, and that's definitely stopped now. This is way back in 2005. Nowadays, it's like, all right, everyone's competing to do this. I mean, it's definitely a community, everyone helps out, but it's, all right, let's all try to get our fastest times. And I think it's a lot more interesting nowadays to speedrun than it was back when I did it at like the beginning of the speedrun like community. Anyways, I am Fill in the Blanks, and we're going to keep going on to the forest. Mario, get off your hands. You'd actually catch him if you could do that. Anyways, I'm Fill in the Blanks, and we'll see you guys next time for more Donkey Kong 94. Take care, guys.